My pen name is Susan Sullivan, and I use the pen name in order to protect the property and the creatures we have discovered on our property. Turns out we moved to a ranch outside of Austin in 2012. Originally from the Dallas area. My husband got a job down near Austin and we moved to a ranch. And we just soon discovered we have a clan of Bigfoots living on our property. And we've seen the Big Daddy, we've seen a juvenile, which is basically a teenager, 6 feet tall, very slender. We've seen babies, and we've also seen the mama. And the activity started immediately within the first month of us arriving there. And it was basically very, how can I put this, very physical, jumping on the roof, the howling, the screaming, throwing things at the house. We were undeterred. We stayed. Everyone else that has been on that property has lasted 6 months. We've been there 4 years, only because we could not leave without knowing what was doing all that. And so it's kind of been exciting for us. And I don't know, we're just the kind of people that we just don't run and hide from things. And I feel like we were being sent a message, and I feel like we're the luckiest people in the world to discover these creatures, discover that they're there, and take the time to listen to them, allow them to communicate with us, and really appreciate them. We've created a relationship with them. We tried to gift, and we realized that probably wasn't wise, because most people gift food, and we don't choose to do that. We think, I believe that our food is poison to them, and so we give trinkets, or they take trinkets, let's say. They take my jewelry. My kids don't like me to say they're stealing. They say they're borrowing. So you have to laugh at it. It's just an amazing experience, and we're still there. My kids are still there. No, they don't like playing outside because they know they're watching us all the time. They call my kids names. They know our names. I've heard them speak outside my window. And it's an amazing experience. And I'm what you would call an habituator, where we have constant activity. And obviously we formed a relationship of trust and respect. We don't allow anybody on the ranch. We don't want hunters on the ranch. We don't want anybody coming and disturbing them. And like I mentioned to you, I believe we have a portal, or a vortex, as some people may call it. I've researched that. That is an amazing experience. I understand that they're probably protecting it, and they don't want anybody else to come near it. So I respect that fact too. And it's an amazing experience when it's open. We can feel the electromagnetic energy in the house, on our bodies. That is mind-blowing to me. I'm blown away by this experience. I really am. It's exciting. I believe that the initial reaction, the negativity, which everybody else experienced, was due to the fact that I think they were protecting the area. Because we've decided to protect them as well. Now it's very positive energy. I started out with the first book, and all my books are purely informational. It's just to put you in my shoes so that you can experience what it feels like to not have any background in this and to come just be thrown into this experience. So the first book is Texas Bigfoot in My Backyard, the first year. And that was very basic. Then came the second year. People were demanding more information, so I wrote the second year. And I got a little more in depth into why I think the property is a hot spot. And I wasn't aware of the portal yet, because I wasn't aware of that part of this. And I think they're educating us, and they're giving us the time to experience and understand what's going on. So they're very patient with us. The third book was the third year. That one gets really in depth about the portals, electromagnetic energy, NASA, and all that stuff, what's really going on. That NASA's identified portals and vortexes out there, and they're crosses between electromagnetic energy lines, and we have them here also. So it makes sense if they've discovered vortexes out there that they would also be here, because lines cross as well here. So I believe the line crosses on the ranch, and I believe that's why the activity on our ranch is very consistent, let's say. And so I go into that in the third year. It's taken me in a direction that I did not realize I was going to go into. I thought, like everyone else, we were dealing with apes in the woods, bipedal creatures, and that was it. But the more I got into it, it's almost spiritual for me, because I can't imagine anybody not understanding and accepting the fact that these are God's creatures, and they deserve respect and understanding. And I've had only one negative person email me about I'm dealing with demons on the ranch and all sorts of crazy stuff and throwing biblical verses at me. Well, my degree happens to be in religious studies, so I can accept this, and I can find documentation throughout our history and our biblical texts and ancient texts as well, where they've always existed. It's just somebody has chosen not to allow us to have that information. It's been and it hasn't been deleted because it's there. It's been ignored. And they're just, for some reason, they're knocking on our door asking us to just wake up, we're here, listen to us. And they're very peaceful. I don't know about anybody else's experiences, but my opinion is they meet you according to what you present. If you're coming and you're hunting and you're out for blood, they're going to meet you with the same, if not more. If you come to them with peace and understanding, they meet you back with the same. It's amazing, and that's been my experience. I'm blown away that they're family oriented. The father has made contact with my husband. The juvenile made contact with my daughter when she was a teenager. The kids have gifted toys to my boys. That blows me away. There's an actual family out there. There's a family dynamic, a family system, and a clan. They're like us. And I personally believe they're an ancient Native American tribe that have always been here. And they just learned to hide and use these portals to hide. And they have abilities which I don't think we don't possess. I think we don't know how to use them. And I can accept that. I don't find anything creepy about it. I don't think it's paranormal. It's what everyone else thinks is paranormal. I think it makes total sense to me. And there is text. There's biblical text that these abilities. We've always had these abilities. We've been oppressed, let's say, and taught not to acknowledge that part of ourselves. Yeah. We experience them as protectors. And they need to come from that direction, come with that understanding and a desire to share whatever they want to tell us. Just to be at peace with it and not fight it. And not to show any aggression towards them. They don't mean us any harm, at least, and I always preface this on where I am, on the ranch. I believe the people that lived there before us, I believe they knew. I believe they also protected them. Unfortunately, they passed before they passed this on to anyone else. And we stumbled upon this. So I think people have been protecting them for quite some time. And you don't hear a lot of people in the old days, habituators, sharing these stories. I think they understood what was going on a long time ago. And we're now privileged to have that same experience. I believe that the message is I need to start educating children to accept this next generation. And so I did write a children's book. And it explains why there are babies on the ranch. And I think it's very important to start adapting our kids to the realities that these creatures do exist. And I find that the kids at my school the kids of this generation are so accepting. They don't even question it. It's just amazing. And I find that so gratifying. So I believe this is what I'm doing. I'm educating by presenting these books. And they're easy reads. I made sure to make them very easy read for all reading levels because I am an educator. And it's presented in such a way for anybody from 5th grade on up can understand these books. And that's my goal, is to start educating the next generation, because I think they're preparing us for something. I think they're preparing us for what I'm calling my second book, The Revelation, because they've already revealed themselves to me. I've seen the whole plan. I think that's what they're preparing us for. I have a website. It's very basic. It's www.texasbigfootinmybackyard.com. You can email me, SusanSullivan2424 at yahoo.com. I have people from all over the world emailing me, asking me. And a lot of times I realize all people want is validation. And my first line back is, I believe you. That's all people are asking for. I believe you. I believe what you're experiencing. That's it. Just because it's very lonely. It's a very lonely, frightening experience. And I find that that's all they need, is just validation and confirmation, and that's it.